All right, so here is your training on creating a routine. This is probably one of the most important modules that you will go through this entire time because this is where the bread and butter is when it comes down to making a habit and making a lifestyle out of what you're doing, instead of just doing it one time or doing it for 12 weeks and then going back to the old ways. This is going to be the way that you stick to everything and continue down the path. So, anyways, we'll jump right in. What we're covering today is why routines are even important in the first place, some common mistakes and pitfalls that we see a lot of times when it comes to trying to create a routine, how to stick to that routine long term, forming your routine around your goals, and then sticking to a routine when life happens. So, pretty much covering the gauntlet here. So, we'll jump right in with why routines are even important in the first place. So, they set the blueprint for hitting your long term goal. So, they act as the map to get you to your goal. So you can have this lofty goal out there of, hey, I want to do X, Y, and Z. I want to lose 50 pounds. I want to, do whatever I want to do. That's your goal. Well, the routine that you set in place is going to be how you actually get to that goal. So it's great to have goals, but if you don't have that routine and that plan in place, they're just dreams. So routines are really good at creating habits. And we know that we've talked about before that you can do something you can do something in the short term and see good results, but in order to keep those results forever, you have to create the habit, and that's what a routine is going to help you do, right? So, how do they do this? They do this by by consistently doing something over and over and over again every day. It's going to become habitual, just like brushing your teeth and showering, right? We've used this example before where you don't have to think about showering every day. You don't have to motivate yourself to try to get up and go shower and go brush your teeth. All right, here we go. I got to get in the brushing my teeth mode. I got to get into the good mindset of to go brush my teeth. That doesn't happen. So the goal is to make working out, make eating right, make doing the things that are healthy in your life, make them so habitual that you don't have to even think or motivate yourself to make them happen. They just happen. So by having this routine in place, it really decreases the chances of you getting off track. There's very little wiggle room for you to actually do something that works against your goals because you've set this routine up to work directly towards your goals. So anything that's in there that works against it is going to be very few and far between. And one of the last things here is a routine puts you first and it makes it clear if you're doing the right thing or not, right? So it's very easy to tell, hey, because if you work your way down the ladder, right? So I've got my goal here. I'm going to set up my plan and set up my routine to get me to that goal. So therefore, if I'm not doing my routine, then I'm actively working against the goal. So it kind of makes it very clear if you're doing the right thing or not, right? So another big thing about routines is they give you confidence, right? So for example here, right, when someone or something else tries to deter you or lead you down the path that does not align with your goals, having a routine gives you ground to stand on, right? So let's look at an example, right? So hey, do you want to go out to a party tonight? No, I'm going to stay in tonight because I'm getting up early tomorrow. Because if waking up early is a part of your routine, okay, well, I wake up at 6 a.m. every day and get my day started and do my thing and blah, blah, blah. That's a part of my routine. I do that every day. It's a habit of mine. If somebody says, hey, do you want to go out to a party and stay out till 2 a.m., you have a comfortable and confident attitude about saying no because you get up at 6 a.m. That's just what you do, right? So the next point here is some common mistakes and pitfalls that we see a lot with this. A lot of times we set an unrealistic or unsustainable routine, right? For example, every day I'm going to wake up at 4 a.m. so I can walk the dog, cook breakfast, work out, and get the kids ready for school by 6:30. That is way too much, right? Especially for just an everyday average person who's trying to just better themselves and be healthy. We don't need to go balls to the wall and try to have this insane routine where everything is just, we're waking up super early, all that stuff. You're going to burn out so quickly. Changing too much about your lifestyle at one time. So this kind of aligns with it a little bit. But for example, if you're trying to get a better routine and you don't work out at all right now, a mistake would be to try to go from that to working out 6 times a week. You're going to burn out, right? Another one is giving up when you don't stick to the routine. So, for example, if you go on vacation or if life gets busy and it throws you off, it's okay. But what's not okay is to stay off your routine and assume you'll never be able to stick to it, right? Another example, if you stay on your routine in the beginning of the day, this is at a day-by-day example here. If you stay on the routine in the beginning of the day, say you do well eating at breakfast and lunch and stuff, and then at night you get thrown off by dinner plans or a late night out or whatever, you don't autocorrect, or excuse me, you don't overcorrect and give up completely. You see this a lot of time. This really goes along with an all or nothing mindset that we try to move our clients away from, by saying, hey, if you go off your routine one time, again, it doesn't mean you failed. It means that you just deterred a little bit, and we can get right back on that path. Okay, so it's just a little bit of a deterrence. It's a speed bump, but we're still on the right path. Do not allow this temporary deterrence from the routine to keep you off of the routine. We need to get back on and just get back to doing things. Don't focus on it. Acknowledge that it happened. Hey, I went off my routine a little bit. That's okay. Today's a new day. I'm back on it again. Okay. I love this quote here, right? So if you run a red light while you're driving, you're not just going to say F it and then run the rest of them. Oh, I ran one red light. Might as well just run the rest of them, right? No, you're going to get back to driving like a, safe driver, right? Just like, just the same exact concept applies here. If you have one bad meal or you miss one workout, you're not just going to say F it. I missed it one time, so might as well just miss the rest of them, right? You get back on top of it. So the next step here, how do you actually stick to your routine long term? So the first thing you do is make small adjustments. So changing one thing per week is a good cadence to have, okay? One very small thing. Week one, you're changing your water intake. You're increasing your water intake, right? Week two, you're adding one serving of vegetables to your day, right? Week three, you're adding one more workout or maybe 10 more minutes to your workout or whatever. And then you kind of go from there, right? Emotionally, another thing too, right? How to stick to your routine long term is emotionally allowing yourself to deter from it. You don't want to do this all the time, right? But there's going to be times when it's impossible to stick to your routine or when you're burnt out on it. So you have to allow yourself to deter from it. But I have a note over here that says no cheat days. I hate that word, cheat days, because cheat days makes it sound like you are on some sort of diet or you're on something that you are required to be on instead of something that you want to be on. So this routine that we're creating, it's not something you don't look at it as something you have to do and that you need a break from or that you need to cheat on, right? Like, that'd be like if you're in a marriage and you have these scheduled days when you go out and you cheat on your partner. Like, that's not healthy. Same thing with your diet and your lifestyle. You want to be in a marriage with your diet and lifestyle where you're looking forward to being with that person, and that person, helps you and moves you forward instead of, oh, I need to take a break from my spouse. Same exact thing. Okay, so look at it more as like I'm going to have, a meal that doesn't align with my routine, or I'm going to have a day where I don't work out and I just go on a walk or something like that. But it's not a cheat and you're just going the complete opposite direction. It's just a mild deterrence. Allow yourself for mild deterrences. All right. Another thing you want to do is frequently remind yourself why you have a routine in the first place. Make sure your routine aligns with your goals and the changes if you need it. Right. So kind of take inventory as you go along. Right. So go, okay, why do I have this routine in the first place? I want to achieve this goal. Okay. If your goal changes, then maybe you need to change the routine as well. Another thing too is, again, don't become married to the routine. Remind yourself that remind yourself that it is there to help you and get to your goals, right? So don't become so obsessed with your routine that you don't do anything else besides that. Pretty much there. Okay. I know we've covered a lot so far, but last little couple of categories here is forming a routine around your goals. So this is a mistake we see a lot of times is when basically people just form a routine that they find online, or they think, oh, waking up at 4 a.m. is healthy because so-and-so does it or whatever, but it doesn't really align with their goals, because maybe your goal is to get 8 hours of sleep a night and you can't go to bed at, 8 o'clock at night and expect to get 8 hours. It's not going to happen, right? So anyways, the first thing is to understand the ins and outs of your goals. So figure out what's most important to you right now and stick with one or two primary goals. So for example, weight loss is most important to me right now. What are the one or two things I can do that are going to help me get to that goal? Figure out what's most important to you. Then what you're going to do is, after you figure out what's most important to you, the next step is to identify the biggest obstacle to that goal. Okay, so right now I want to lose weight. We have examples here. I won't just go off base here, but basically what specifically in your life is working directly against the goal that you have. So you've set the goal. Now you find the biggest obstacle. So for example, if you're trying to lose weight and your current routine consists of eating fast food 4 times per week, this is a direct obstacle to your goal. Okay, so now you know the biggest obstacle. Now you can think about what can I realistically start to how can I slowly eliminate that obstacle? Okay, so for example, we have our goal of losing weight. We have our obstacle of eating out too much. So now we go about trying to eliminate that obstacle of eating out too much. How do we do this? On a week by week basis. Week 1, we're going to drop it to 3 times per week that we eat fast food. Week 2, we're going to drop it to 2 times a week that we eat fast food. Week 3, we're dropping it to 1 time per week that we eat fast food, to the point where now we're not eating fast food at all, and maybe just on occasion. This is how you go about eliminating the obstacles that are in the way of you getting to your goal. Okay, if you went on week 1 and you said, I'm not going to eat any more fast food, that would be a failing strategy because you're restricting yourself. You have to teach yourself that you don't need fast food anymore, and as you're taking one habit away, you have to replace it with another. You can't just eliminate the habit and not have anything else replace it. So as you take away 1 meal of fast food per week, you're replacing it with a meal at home. And you do that each week, okay? So once you feel comfortable and confident with the first change that you've made and you feel like it's stuck, find the next most problematic obstacle. For example, now that you're no longer eating fast food every week, you're going to increase your water intake. And then you're going to repeat the cycle until there are no more obstacles in your way, or if you hit your goal, set a new one. Okay, so I hope this makes sense. Set the goal first, then find the obstacle to that goal, then slowly eliminate that obstacle, and then find the next obstacle. And then go through the same process. Slowly eliminate that obstacle. Find the next one. Slowly eliminate that one until the point where there's no more obstacles or you've hit your goal, and then repeat that cycle. Okay? Pretty basic, but that's how you go about creating the routine around your goals. Okay? Now, the last little topic here is sticking to your routine when life happens. Okay, so it's unrealistic to say that we're going to be in this little cubicle all the time and we're not going to have any problems or anything come in life that's going to disrupt our routine. So how do we stick to our routine? How do we maintain sanity when that life happens, right? So one thing that we see a lot of times is people when they go on vacation or they go out of town or they travel or whatever, they just leave their routine at home and they just go completely off. And they're like, oh, whatever, I'm on vacation. I don't really have a routine while I'm on vacation, so I'm just going to do whatever. That's, again, a failing strategy, because if you're on your routine 4 weeks, right, and then you go for a week of vacation, you can easily undo a lot of the hard work that you put in at home on that 1 week of vacation. So how do you bring your routine with you on vacation? 1, you go into vacation with a workout plan. You look at the schedule and you go, okay, I'm going to be in Florida from Monday through Friday. So I'm going to decide when I'm going to exercise, and I'm going to decide what type of exercise I'm going to be doing as well. Okay? So Monday through Friday, I know I'm going to work out Tuesday and Thursday while I'm there. On Tuesday, I'm going to go on a run. Thursday, I'm going to do resistance bands in the hotel or something. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there, right? But that's exactly what you want to think about doing. Okay? The next thing you want to do is you want to set the expectation for other people so they know that you're going to be taking time to exercise. Make this a non-negotiable. So after you've decided the days you're going to work out, the type of workout you're going to do, then you're going to tell people that you're going with that you're going to be working out. For example, all right, we're going to Florida Monday through Friday. I'm working out Tuesday, Thursday, running and doing resistance bands. Now I'm going to go tell my husband, hey, husband or wife or whoever it is, hey, partner, I'm going to be working out on Tuesday and Thursday at this time, and I'm going to be doing this type of exercise. Okay? Don't ask. Tell them, hey, this is what's happening. Set the expectation. Now, the next thing you want to do is go into vacation with a nutrition plan. Okay? So how does this happen? How do you go about this? One of the biggest strategies you want to do is when you're traveling, stay at a place that allows you to be in control of your nutrition. I personally like to stay in Airbnbs or a house rental that has a kitchen, so I can cook my own food while I'm there. I can decide a lot more when it comes to that. It also saves a ton of money instead of just trying to go and eat out all the time, right? Or what you can do is if you're going somewhere for maybe a shorter period of time, maybe you're going for a long weekend or something, and there's a mini fridge in the hotel or whatever, bring ingredients that you can keep in a little mini fridge, or even bring like prepared stuff with you and keep it in the fridge, okay? So that's something you can do with your nutrition. The next little bit here is how to stick to a routine when your significant other or kids get in the way. All right, so this happens a lot. The first thing you do is you have the conversation. Make sure your family knows that you are dedicated to making sustainable changes and you're developing a routine. They will push back much less if they understand why you were doing this and how it will benefit them. Get their support. Set the expectation. Hey, I am doing this. Okay. Don't ask for permission. Tell them. All right. The next thing you want to do is create alone time. In your current routine, where are there more opportunities for you to have alone time? Can you wake up 30 minutes earlier? Can you walk in the evening? Things of that nature. Okay. You need to create time to be by yourself so that you can not, you have more time to where you're away from the kids, you're away from the husband who might be asking you for things or disrupting you. Get away from them for specific times. Okay. Now, what do you do if your family wants to go out to eat or do something that's off your routine? You compromise. Okay. You say, yeah, we can still go out, but we're going to find a restaurant that has options that align with my goals, but also has options for kids. My favorites, Asian restaurants, are so great when it comes to eating out because there's a lot of vegetables. There's minimal, like you can get a lot of steamed stuff that's not made in like fried and oils and stuff like that. So I love Asian restaurants, and usually they have kids stuff there too. Okay. Another one of my favorites are like build your own restaurants like Chipotle or Subway or Cava, where you can kind of control what goes into your bowl or your sub or whatever. You can tell them what to put in it. And then the last is seafood restaurants because you get a lot of protein, you can get a lot of veggies, stuff like that. Okay. So those are strategies when it comes to eating out. Now, remember, if you have to sacrifice your routine, though, for one day or one night, it's okay. Spending time with your loved ones is most important. So if your family is like, look, I know you're on this journey, I'm supportive of that, but it's his birth, it's your kid's birthday, so they want to go to this restaurant. It's okay to be off of the routine for one night. That's fine. Okay. The last little bit here on how to stick to a routine with your family and with having a kids and having families and stuff is plan trips that allow you to stay active and involve kids. Plan hiking trips, plan beach trips with walkable areas, right? Biking tours, go to a new city and everybody rents a bike and now we're biking around and we're all staying active, right? Things like that are really going to make or break your vacation, because if you go on vacation and you just sit in the house, you sit on the beach and you don't do anything, chances are it's going to catch up to you when you come back. Okay. So make sure you are deliberately planning out an area or time when you can be active and include the family. That way they don't feel like, oh, mom's out and she's not going to pay attention and spend time with us because she's doing her workout. That can kind of weigh on you. So make sure that you're including them by setting aside or by planning trips that allow for that. So I hope that makes sense. I know this is a little bit of a longer module, but go back through this, read through it, take notes, okay? And let me know if you have any other questions or if you need anything else when it comes to creating a routine.